What's next for crypto regulation in the US? Are banks about to start holding crypto, and what is that going to look like? What needs to happen to get to that point? We're going to talk about that in this video. Plus, I got some other XRP news. Let's go ahead and start talking about this. I want to start here because remember, right, when the Trump administration goes and has conversations with Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan, right? They understand who is connected to most of these bigger banks, these financial institutions globally, right? Ripple, listen.
Here's the list of all Ripple partnerships. You can, of course, see all these different, man, this is crazy. But these are all, there's SBI Holdings right there, just bank after bank after bank after bank.
Yep.
I mean, there it is, guys. This is probably just what is in, the coffer right now versus the deals that they're probably working today.
And that's not including any of the central bank digital currency. Listen to this. This is a very important clip. It's an older clip. If you've seen it, I appreciate you. You should probably re-listen. I'm going to give you some context that I didn't have before. Let's take a listen to this.
We're also about to see massive changes in the $23 trillion world of big finance. In the months ahead, central banks around the world are planning to go digital. Many of the legacy banks you've heard of, where you probably even keep your money, like Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, they're about to be reset, overhauled by a new type of technology called Fintech, which is short for financial technology.
Yeah, can I ask you, what exactly does that mean for the banks and all of us, you and me?
Essentially, it means the function of our banks is about to change. They probably won't raise public suspicion about it by changing the signs on your bank's branches. But according to my sources, the Federal Reserve will soon own all the banks. And your local branch, it's simply going to be like a licensee of the Fed. In other words, the banking infrastructure is being rebuilt from the ground up. And very few Americans are aware this is even happening. We are right on the...
You are aware it's happening because you spend time on this channel. Listen, I just want to say I appreciate your time. If you want to do anything for me, if you want to support me on my journey, we have a $20 membership to support the channel. You're going to get early access to some videos. Also, I'm going to make some private content just for you. Thank you so much for your support. Also, if you don't want to do that, you can hit like on the video. I really appreciate it. And then if you want to take it a bit further, and if you are in the trenches, or if you're trading meme coins, if you're trading AI agents, if you're trading, XRP and some of these other ISO assets, Kryptonaires, we have a deal right now, bull run, 50% off the first month. There's a link in the description. That's where all the information is that I go through on a regular basis.
The verge of a once-in-a-generation opportunity
Once
to
in a
profit
generation.
by investing in the companies that are building out the architecture for this massive shift.
Yep.
Put simply, financial technology is revolutionizing the $23 trillion old guard banking industry. You see, over the past 3 years, while the total value of U.S. bank stocks has slid by 30%, the total value of fintech stocks has increased by 272%. This chart shows the early stages of this huge distortion in action.
It's amazing. Why don't we hear about this shift in the news? I mean, this seems to me like it should be a front page story.
I totally agree. But yeah, I got to remember, the central banks and the folks on Wall Street, they want to keep this transformation under wraps for as long as they possibly can.
So they can get in front of it first.
Of course. And to avoid panic. This reset will be a huge shock when Americans catch on. That's why the average person won't hear a word about the story until it's obvious to just about everyone. And by then, it's going to be too late.
Yeah, the profits will be gone.
Right, the same way it works with any world-changing investment.
Listen, right now you have an opportunity that nobody else in history has had, right? You're able to buy and own technology that financial institutions, central banks, and regular banks are coming in behind you to adopt, okay? The reason they need to adopt this is because they're using a system that is 50 years old. Quantum computing is coming, right? And we need to make sure that our financial infrastructure globally is on a more secure network, which is blockchain, okay? Ripple has spent the last 12 years building out the most incredible rails globally. They cover 90 to 95% of the FX market, which is $6 to $7 trillion a day, okay? They have the biggest banks in the world as liquidity partners already. This thing is ready to go. All it takes is a flick of the wrist, some regulation, and boy, are we heading to the motherfucking moon. All right? I'm dead serious about this.
Story. That's why if you're going to invest, I'd recommend you do it right now, today. And I found a small company at the center of it all.
All right, we're not gonna get into that. All right, so this was just put out by the Atlantic Council. What is next for crypto regulation? Let's go ahead and read this. I'm here in Davos with the U.S. President Donald Trump addressed the delegates virtually on Thursday, emphasizing that the U.S. will be the crypto capital of the world. A few hours later, the White House issued the much anticipated executive order on digital assets. Since winning the election in November, Trump and his team have sent all the right smoke signals, including appointing David Sachs to be the White House crypto and artificial intelligence AI czar. I did a video on this as well. It might come out before this video or after this video, but it will come out in the same day. Under the Biden administration, the crypto industry's biggest complaint was the lack of regulatory clarity and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission regulation by enforcement. If you don't or not familiar with this, the SEC basically said to crypto companies, come in and register, we'll help you. And then they went and sued them, right? It talks about the crypto industry's biggest complaint is lack of regulation. The Trump administration intends to fill the regulatory gap and propel a broader agenda of deregulation in the innovation sector in the early days of his presidency, with legislators favorable to the industry, including Representative French Hill as the chair of the House Financial Services Committee, Senator Cynthia Lummis, and newly formed chair of the Senate Banking and Subcommittee on Digital Assets, the SEC chair pick Paul Atkins, and advisors like Elon Musk and Commerce Secretary nominee Howard Lutnick. Confidence is growing that the crypto forward agenda is on its way. But what does success in the regulatory front look like? What does it mean for the rest of the world? We'll dive into that. All right, so talks a little bit more. I'm not going to read all of this to you because I don't want to put you to sleep, but you can pause it here and take a look at this. And then it does talk about stablecoins, which are going to be a pillar of our financial system going forward. All right. Also, what happens if the XRP ledger is home to a lot of this value? We're talking trillions, 50 trillion, 100 trillion, 500 trillion. Is it possible? And if we do get to that point, how much is your XRP worth? Let's listen.
Would settle on agreement. So this would happen instantaneously, somewhere between $10,000 and $35,000 a coin. And our lives will be, maybe the same, maybe different. I don't know.
Listen, if this in fact ever did happen, 1,000 XRP at 10K is $10 million. Okay. So crazy shit could happen. We don't know, but we are getting the right signals from the administration that they are open. Business is open in America for the crypto industry, and this could make us extremely wealthy if we play our cards right.
And then last but not least, I'm going to have one equally contentious. I think XRP will flip Ethereum this year. And I've been getting a lot of heat for this.
That's a good one. Some love being shared here. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate a lot of your thoughts, and I wish you a very good day.
Listen, that's Jack McDonald right there. Okay, he is on the board for RLUSD. I like the beginning of this too. This is from Cybers to Moniker. He has got a great channel. Please go take a look at some of his content, but listen to the beginning of this.
Financial institutions, both traditional and otherwise, I think it opens up the dialogue so that you're starting to see more and more regulators understand that the genie can't be put back in the bottle. Even though some of the more critical regulators and policymakers of the ecosystem have acknowledged that it's here to stay. They've started to talk about tokenization and the idea that blockchain and DLT is going to be used in the long term.
Blockchain and DLT is going to be used in the long term. Also, you have Larry Fink, who is the founder of BlackRock. $9 trillion, $10 trillion under management. He knows what is coming. He's telling you in multiple interviews. This is like the third or fourth clip I have played listening to what Larry Fink is about to say about the digital assets, the stock and bond market moving to blockchain. It's coming. It's a matter of time. Listen.
As a huge believer of crypto and blockchain and tokenization, I want the SEC to rapidly approve the tokenization of bonds and stocks.
SEC is going to do that, ladies and gentlemen, and then we are headed to Valhalla. Also, I said, what needs to happen for us USA banks to hold crypto assets? Some of these answers are obviously, we understand this, but establishing a clear regulatory framework, that is coming, that is on the way. The executive order was just signed. Federal agency collaboration. We need the SEC to work with other agencies like the CFTC to make sure that we get the right crypto assets in the right buckets and have the right regulators, talking and regulating those crypto assets. Risk management guidelines, right? How much risk is this one crypto asset going to be? Obviously, XRP probably comes with lower risk than let's say a meme coin or a new token that was just created. So they're going to have to put these in buckets and the banks will only be able to touch certain cryptos. Capital and liquidity standards, right? What backs up their crypto? Legislative support, of course, Congress is working on this. Addressing consumer protection concerns. Obviously, this is a big deal. We want to make sure that the people that are coming into the industry are protected, but the industry definitely needs to be cleaned up before that can happen. What did you think, man? Are we headed to Valhalla? Let me know, guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for all the support. We are heading to 52,000. Man, sure feels good to be hanging out with you and doing all of this. I love you. I hope you're doing well. Go make some money. I'll talk to you later.